On today's wrestling news, Jon Moxley calls for a major change in pro wrestling. Got a former WWE star making a shock in-ring return. A top free agent could be headed to AEW. And a backstage update on Randy Orton's injury and loads more as well. Are you ready? Are you ready for the news time? My name is Phil Chambers and Gareth is off again. I have no idea where he is this week, but he's not here. So I'm on my own, but let's get right into it. So Jon Moxley, he suffered a concussion when he was wrestling Rey Fenix for the AEW International title. He obviously lost that match due to the concussion that he suffered really early on in the match after Rey Fenix did a kind of dive onto him and the landing was not good, let's say. So it was 30 seconds into the match that he got the concussion. And he has been speaking with The Messenger about this. And I've just got a quote from him here that kind of gives you an idea of where he was at in that match after he suffered the concussion. So he just says, "I just kept getting progressively more lost and couldn't figure out where the F I was. Then I had this moment of clarity. Oh, I'm effed up. I gotta get the F out of here." Obviously, he didn't use the word F. So he's carried on in the interview talking about the need for discussions about safeguarding wrestlers within the ring in the industry. And he goes on to say it's obviously kind of hard with wrestling due to the fact that they kind of blur the lines between fact and fiction quite a lot. And you've got worked injuries and shoot injuries, and it all kind of blurs into one thing. But he does have a suggestion for what people can put in place within the industry to help safeguard wrestlers. So his idea is to have a really experienced wrestler and a really experienced doctor who are trained to see signs of concussions watching the match on a special feed. Now, both safeguarding experts would be completely in the dark about anything to do with the story, the planned winner, how long the match was supposed to be going, anything like that, completely in the dark about it. The wrestler would be there to advise the doctor about sort of legitimate versus worked injuries, and the doctor would be there to specifically look for signs of injury or concussion, like medical signs for these things. And then as soon as either one of them sees signs of a concussion, they just hit the stop button. And no matter how much time is left in the match, no matter if it's on live TV, no matter like if they've got TV time to fill or anything, doesn't matter. The match is over and you just figure out the rest from there. Now, I think this is a very valid thing to have in wrestling. Obviously, Jon Moxley, the concussion happened so early in the match and they just carried on that match, which probably shouldn't have happened, especially if he was in the kind of state that he was kind of describing earlier there. So I definitely think there needs to be some kind of safeguarding for this. So let me know down in the comments what you think of Jon Moxley's suggestion to have two safeguarding experts watching every single match on its own feed. I also think there should probably be a lot more training for the referees so they can help spot signs of concussion and signs of injury a little bit easier. Like if the referee had seen the state of Jon Moxley and recognized that as a concussion early on, he could have been the one to sort of stop the match and try and stop the wrestlers doing what wrestlers do in just carrying on through absolutely everything. So I think there's a lot that can be said here, but there definitely needs to be something within the industry to stop this happening again. But moving over slightly, I just wanted to have a quick thing in here about Simon Miller's Impact Wrestling debut. Now, we all went to see Impact Turning Point live in Newcastle last night, and it was a hell of a lot of fun. He had a really good, fun match against Joe Hendry. I'm not going to do any spoilers or anything. I just wanted to give a shout out. You can see his entrance, which is just his entrance. There's no spoilers for anything else, which you can see in our short speed, which I will put a link to up here somewhere in that little eye, so you can go and watch that. But I just wanted to give a shout out to Simon Miller. He had such a good time doing this. Obviously, the Impact debut is a huge thing for him, and I'm just so proud of him. Honestly, I'm really happy for him. He works so goddamn hard. You have absolutely no idea. That man never stops. It's ridiculous. But you will be able to see it for yourselves when Impact Turning Point airs on November the 3rd. It'll be available on Impact Plus or YouTube for the Impact members, the subscribers there, and it will be on Fight TV as well. So make sure you check it out to see Simon Miller's Impact Wrestling debut. Speaking of random debuts, Ronda Rousey is hitting the independent scene. who the hell saw this one coming? So she made a surprise return to the ring for Lucha Vavoom in LA. She teamed with Marina Shafir, obviously one of the 4 horsewomen, to take on Taya Valkyrie and Brian Kendrick in a match. Now, Ronda Rousey posted the clip to Instagram, which I will show you in a second. But she just said that Lucha Vavoom was honestly the best Lucha Burlesque hybrid show I've ever had the pleasure of jumping into unannounced. Anyone who doubted me and Marina Shafir could make magic in the ring is an idiot. Thank you, Taya Valkyrie and Brian Kendrick, for being down to get down with us. Now, this is her first time back in the ring since leaving WWE at SummerSlam, obviously, when she lost to Shayna Baszler. And I personally did not expect to see Ronda Rousey hitting the independents. This is kind of ridiculous. It's absolutely amazing. Did not see it coming at all. But it seemed like she had a lot of fun with it. And she's also tweeting out more teasers for future independent appearances because Sami Callihan's company Wrestling Revolver put out a tweet saying they're doing a show in LA. And Ronda Rousey retweeted it just saying, how very convenient. So it's going to be interesting if Ronda Rousey is going to start doing the odd independent booking just for fun things in LA. But yeah, I'm all for it. It's absolute chaos. I did not see it coming. I thought she would just stay away from wrestling again like she did the last time she was out. But I guess she's got the bug. And it seems like she's having a lot of fun with it. So good for her. But speaking of Sami Callihan, he recently left Impact Wrestling and he is now open to independent bookings and things like that, but there might be something more waiting for him over at AEW. Now, this is coming from the Wrestling Observer, and apparently there is talk of him joining AEW, but what his role would be is yet unclear. So everything from a kind of in-ring wrestler to an agent or a producer role like backstage has been discussed. Apparently Callihan is taking bookings for now, so it doesn't seem like a deal has been reached. He's still actively taking independent bookings, but if you don't know, Sami Callihan does a lot more than just wrestling. He runs his own promotion, which I just mentioned, the Wrestling Revolver, which is doing really, really well. And as part of that, he also, well, obviously he runs it all behind the scenes, but he also produces a lot of it, he films a lot of it, and he edits a lot of it himself. He even produced and filmed and edited a lot of his own promos for Impact Wrestling. So he does a lot of things behind the scenes, and then you add in his 17 years of experience, and it could be quite the valuable pickup for Tony Khan in AEW. But let me know down in the comments below, do you want to see Sami Callihan head to AEW? Now, back once again with the Wrestling Observer. Backstage update for Randy Orton's injury. He could be back in time in WWE for Survivor Series. Now, Orton is reportedly determined to wrestle again and supposedly compete until he is 50, despite doctors telling him to never wrestle again due to this injury. Now, he's been out with a back injury since last May. That means he's been out for over a year and 5 months, which is a really long time to be out, but it's like there's no ideas there yet about what the creative would be if he came back at Survivor Series, but he has, but like I say, yeah, saying that if he wants to come back and wrestle until he's 50, that gives him 7 years, which is plenty of time to figure out what he wants to do and go out on his own terms, but he feels like he is very determined to get back into the ring, and we could be seeing Randy Orton sooner rather than later. Biggest thing about this, obviously, we just hope he's well and sort of ready to come back and he's not going to make anything worse by doing it, but so long as he is comfortable and he is happy with it and he's feeling good, that is the main thing. And come back, Randy Orton. Can't wait to see it. Let us know down in the comments below. Who do you want him to face in this first feud back? What would you want to see him do at Survivor Series? Just make a surprise return or set up a storyline? Let me know down below. Now, just as a final thing, John Cena has had a singles match announced for Crown Jewel. So Cena and Heyman had a bit of a promo battle last night on SmackDown, leading to a big Solo Sikoa beatdown where he left Cena laying in the middle of the ring. But it has now been announced that John Cena will be taking on Solo Sikoa at Crown Jewel for Cena to try and break his over 2,000-day singles match losing streak that he is on. He's not won a singles match in a really long time. But this is also a huge match for Solo Sikoa, obviously one of the sort of biggest names that he has come up against in his sort of main roster career. And it adds to quite a fun little Crown Jewel card. So we've obviously got LA Knight versus Roman Reigns for the WWE Championship. We've got Rollins versus McIntyre for the WWE Heavyweight Championship. We've got Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax versus Shayna Baszler versus Zoe Stark versus Raquel Rodriguez. We've got Rey Mysterio versus Logan Paul, Cody Rhodes versus Damian Priest, John Cena versus Solo Sikoa, which just got announced, and Io Sky versus Bianca Belair. So it's shaping out to be a really fun card for WWE Crown Jewel, and I am looking forward to this John Cena versus Solo Sikoa match, actually. It's a very strange mix of styles, old versus new, something we've never seen before. A big match for kind of both of them, and I'm really looking forward to it. But that is it. Thank you very much for joining me. You can click this video down below here to continue your YouTube journey, but you can follow me on Twitter as well. You can follow me at FillMyChambers. Why the hell not? Get over there. I will probably be posting more of Simon Mellor's debut. If you would like to see it, go over there. But most importantly, have yourselves a bloody good day.